If you have eyes, you've probably seen a video or two with people talking about the brand new Whoop 5.0, now featuring 3 different subscription models, a 14-day battery life and a new strap. I've been wearing the Whoop 5.0 for the past 30 days and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the new subscriptions as well as which one is right for you. So now when you go to purchase a Whoop, you have the option of 3 different subscriptions: the One, the Peak and Life. In a nutshell, One is the very basic version of the Whoop. However, it does not include the full health monitor set, which includes features like your resting heart rate and then your heart rate variability. Peak has all the same features as the Whoop 4.0, but has a brand new feature included as well, which is the main reason I wanted to get this strap to try this out. And finally we have Life, and this one includes daily blood pressure insights as well as heart screening with ECG. This also includes a new strap called the MG. Now pricing wise, the Whoop 4.0 was £229 a year if you paid annually, and you may be surprised to know that 2 of the subscriptions are actually cheaper than that. So subscription 1 is £155 and the Peak subscription is £210. So essentially the Whoop 5.0 is actually cheaper than the Whoop 4.0. That is apart from the final Life subscription, and I hope you're sitting down for this. Be a bit weird if you were standing up, to be honest. The Life subscription is £320, £110 more than the Peak subscription, and don't forget it is a subscription, so that's only for a year for what is essentially a band. For that amount of money you can buy yourself a brand new Series 9 Apple Watch or even a Series 10 refurbished Apple Watch, and Series 10 is the newest one if you're not up to date with your Apple Watches. Now I know what you're thinking, for £110 a year or £9 extra a month you must be getting some serious features. Well, all you're actually getting is daily blood pressure insights, and you can get a heart screening with ECG. Now these are great features to have if you have heart health problems or high blood pressure, but apart from that I honestly can't see any benefits to having this information. Of course I've done my research, and by research I mean watching tons and tons of YouTube videos, and it seems a general consensus by reviewers and consumers that this is the case. Add to that the qualified scientists actually tested the Whoop 4.0, the 5.0 and the MG, and found out that the MG has different sensors that were actually not as accurate as the 5.0 or the 4.0. So you're actually paying £110 more for a less effective strap. Now honestly I'm the odd about getting the MG for so long because I'm talking about it in this video. I could use it in my thumbnail and that would probably help me get more clicks, but I honestly just don't think it's worth it. And I honestly think companies are starting to release more expensive versions of products just because they know YouTubers will buy them to talk about them in videos. I think we all remember the release of the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm pretty sure it was only YouTube reviewers who were buying them. Also, because of the ECG, the band is apparently a little bit heavier, so something to think about. So my general opinion on the Life subscription with MG is, unless you have heart problems or high blood pressure, you don't really need it, and as we found out, the sensors aren't even as accurate as the lower tier models. Now before we get to the other subscriptions, I think it's important that we quickly talk about the Whoop controversies. Now if you remember with Whoop back in the 4.0 days, one of their unique selling points was that you were entitled to free upgrades whenever new models came out. However, when the Whoop 5.0 came out, this policy quickly got replaced by a new policy, and the new policy required that they either extend their membership by 12 months or pay a one-time upgrade of either $49 for the 5.0 or $79 for the MG. I really think this is just shady behavior that needs to be highlighted, and I think it demonstrates that Whoop is really all about making money. And I get it, it's a business, but even when you're buying your Whoop and you start scrolling through the accessories, it really just starts to make your eyes water. For example, the straps alone are like 50 quid. I mean, it's just a bit of material, they don't need to charge £50 for these. And to add to the controversy, if you stocked up on a few 50 quid Whoop 4.0 straps ready for your free upgrade that never happened, they've made minor changes to the Whoop 5.0 straps, so you will have to buy new £50 straps for your new Whoop. And honestly, these straps aren't even as good. They slide out and don't lock in as well as the previous ones, so another upgrade that is actually a downgrade. Okay, so enough with the negativity, let's get to the positives I've experienced over the past 30 days with the Peak subscription with the 5.0. Now the main reason I even contemplated a Whoop strap in the past was the battery life. I've used Apple Watches, Fitbits, Garmin's, and the battery life is terrible. The only fitness tracker that comes close is the Oura Ring, which is around 5 to 7 days, which is similar to the Whoop 4.0. And the Whoop 5.0 boasts a 14-day battery life. Granted, it's just a strap with a light that flashes on it, but it is bloody convenient. And over the past 30 days, I've just chucked on the charger thing for like an hour twice, and I've been good to go. So the Peak subscription pretty much has all the same features as you have on the Whoop 4.0. You've got your sleep, stress, recovery, strain, steps, calories, and all your health monitors. However, there was one new feature that I was excited to try out myself, especially as someone who makes health and longevity videos. I thought it could really help my videos in the future, and that is the new health span feature. Now you have to log 21 continuous sleeps before you get access to this information, and I can tell you, I was like a kid on Christmas Eve waiting for these metrics. And like Christmas Day, it was a little underwhelming. This new feature now displays your Whoop age, which is your physiological age versus your actual age, as well as pace of aging, or how fast your body is aging. Pretty fun, I guess, but how accurate it is, I couldn't really tell you. Seems like the results are just calculated from your sleep, strain, and fitness scores, so if those metrics are just going in the right direction, you don't really need to look at this, but I guess it's fun. I mean, I'm probably just a bit bitter as I thought mine was going to be better. Finally, we have the One subscription, which is only £155. And this will give you access to your sleep, strain, and recovery zones, as well as your VO2 max and heart zones, which if your goal is to just monitor your health, I think is probably all you need. However, I do think the resting heart rate and the heart rate variability from the Peak subscription are important if you take your training seriously. And for an extra £55, that does also include your stress monitors and that new health span feature, so the Peak could be worth it for you. And if you happen to have an extra £110 kicking about, you can get yourself a heavier strap with less effective sensors and monitor your blood pressure.